Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today for our Technique Tuesday video. And this first part of the video is going to be a little bit darker than normal only because I'm using a lot of white and I don't want the glare to mess up what I'm trying to show you. So on the embossing folders you have two sides. You have a side that is raised and a side that is sunken in. So we're going to take the side that's sunken in, and we're going to start off with the Distress Oxide inks, and we're just going to put the ink directly to the embossing folder. And once you feel like you've got it inked enough, you just put your paper inside. You put it through your sandwiches, depending on which, machine you're using. For the Cuttlebug, it's 2 B plates and an A plate. And then when you take it out, you can see here, you get this really pretty, almost like a distressed wood color, because I used the iced spruce. It's really a fun technique, and you can do this with any of your ink pads. We're going to start off, like I said, with the Distress Oxides, but I'm also going to show you a few other ink pads. So on this embossing folder, which is the Crackled from Doris, we're going to use the Worn Lipstick, and it's the same idea. You just run it through your embossing machine, and look at that. You get a lot of interesting texture, and I love the raised, the fact that you're getting like a doubled emboss. It's really quite fun. So I wanted a little bit deeper red, so I took My Favorite Things Hybrid ink in the cherry, and we did the same thing, just ran it through. And I probably should have ran it through twice because I didn't get full pressure on the whole thing. But even just that little bit that we did, you get even more of a distinction between the raised parts than with the distress. It was really, really fun. So I'm going to grab one more. This one is the Walnut Stain. And we're going back to the first one that I did, the first embossing folder we used, and we're going to run that one through. And that one I took forward and ran it back, so you get a much more even coverage. And you can see I'm cleaning each time after I use the embossing folder, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but I like to have it clean immediately, so that way it doesn't stain. So I'm pre-treating my paper, because we're going to use the Versamark pad. Yes, you can use your Versamark ink on your embossing folders. Run it through just like we did with the other ones. And on this one, when I use the embossing powder, it does want to stick everywhere. So you'll see I'm going to grab a brush, or not a brush, yeah, like a paintbrush, and try and get as much of the embossing powder off on areas that I really don't want it to stick, but for whatever reason I must have didn't use enough of that powder, the anti-static powder, to make sure that it didn't, so I'm wiping off, and then I blow it away, and then if I make a mistake with the brush, I just add the embossing powder back and keep going. And you'll see me do it a couple of times on the bottom here, because my hand kept slipping off of the edge. And I just grabbed a few more pieces, like leaves, some of the birds. I didn't do all of them. Some of them still wind up having some of the embossing powder on it, but what it did was it just gave it a little bit more pop when I took off, some of those whites. And then I just take the heating tool and we go ahead and melt this. So on this one, you're getting double embossing. So you've got the dry embossing, and then we also have the heat embossing with the Versamark. It was a lot of fun with this one. And just think of all the embossing folders that you have in your stash that you can use this technique on. You can lose your mind. And like I showed you, you could use any of your inks. The hybrid ink, a dye ink, the distress inks. Depending on the look or what you're trying to get, you can use so many things. You know, with the using the Versamark, you can even use your Nouveau embossing powders, which I'll try and get a link for what's on the boutique for the Nouveaux so that it's down below. And the cleaner that I'm using, which is the Brutus Monroe, I'll see if that's on the website as well. So just to show you these up close again, they were quite a bit of fun, and I can't wait to use this on our Sunday retake video. We're gonna have to see how we can use this in our layout. Alright, you guys, thank you for joining me today. Make sure, like I said, if you're looking for links to the different items like the embossing powder, I'm gonna try and get as many links as I can to our website for scrapbooking with me. It's gonna be down below in the more. And then at the very end, I'm also going to have links to previous Technique Tuesday videos. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to click on my photo. You'll see it at the very end. And there's a bell that you'll see. And if you click on that, you'll get alerts whenever I upload videos. And for right now, my main schedule is every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. So I look forward to seeing you guys with our sketch video this Friday, and I hope you have a really great day.